Good afternoon. Further readings from walking slowly down hills, some more days in Melbourne, doing a different kind of walking and writing accounts of that. This is the 86th day of a long walk down the Murray from source to mouth. We wake early. Daylight has barely broken. Everything was packed the day before, but there's always last-minute panic. Something is missing, but it's found. The drive to the airport is calm. There's plenty of time. We don't say much. Departures like these are usually shrouded in silence. We managed to find the last car park on level 1. Then there's a long walk to Terminal 4. But everything aligns. The bags are of course overweight, but I just pay the surcharge. There's nothing else that can be done. I'm simply relieved I'm able to. Boarding pass is printed, bags checked in. I buy a coffee and a mineral water for Emma. Brunetti's Airport Cafe is a pale imitation of its Carlton parent, like a child attempting to follow in its famous mother's footsteps. The coffee also attempts to follow, and it does so badly. After a kilometre's walk, we reach the gate. Everything is slow and measured, and we anticipate the parting. We're at the head of the queue, and the door to the waiting aircraft opens. We embrace, and I try to sum up in my feverish mind the most significant aspects of both what has taken place and what must now be done, and then quietly pour them into Emma's ear. But they sound like Brunetti's coffee tasted. She struggles to listen gracefully, tears lining her cheeks. She walks out into the greyness towards the aircraft, and we exchange waves until she's at the top of the mobile stairs. She hesitates for a moment, waves again, and then disappears into the cabin. I immediately turn away and walk back into the main body of the terminal, tugging away at the lid of the invisible container strapped to my chest. I walk past the couple that's been observing Emma and I parting. He leans towards me as I pass and says, smilingly pointing at his partner, "See, you've made her cry." I look fully into her tear-filled eyes, her face full of feeling. "It was my daughter," I feel compelled to explain, or, "Oh, so it was your daughter," she says, turning her head towards him, smiling with relief. Turning her back to me, she then blurts out in a conspirationally lowered voice, "I did tell you it was his daughter, didn't I?" But I've already walked on, my own eyes now brimming with tears. I've done well to keep all this to myself, I think, and I just walk on out of the terminal, across the busy link roads and into the car park, just walking steadily and slowly back to my car. I climb into the van wearily, back out carefully, and then I drive very slowly back to the city. I wind the window down a little and turn up the car radio's volume. The ABC announcer is interviewing a drug rehabilitation counsellor who works in one of the city's health facilities. His voice sounds tired, flatly insipid, just like the airport coffee. I turn the radio off and wind the window down completely so that I can hang my arm out and feel the rushing coolness swirling around it. I can see it in my rear vision mirror, the flesh and muscle unexpectedly soft and droopy at the back of my bicep. I flex it and slowly twist it so that I can examine it better. It seems like a stranger's arm, an arm I don't know. I've never known. I look away further down the freeway and grip the steering wheel firmly with both hands. '87th day, still in Melbourne. It's an extraordinarily windy evening in Dramana. All the blinds in the apartment snap and whip as if possessed by some inner force. They can't keep still for a second. The sudden mad gusts roaring in from the southern ocean across their heads either suck them flat into the flywire or spit them out away from the window, and then, like sails clinging onto the crossmasts, they desperately hold on to their fittings so as not to be ejected into the room. They still clank and rattle and snap, even though now I've wound the windows shut. And suddenly I'm inside a sailboat, making a crossing, unsure as I am of my departure point or my destination. I look around me closely to better verify my surroundings. I'm indeed inside the cabin of this strange vessel, heading out across space to who knows where. It feels like the Bounty after the mutiny, sailors and officers and islanders all sleeplessly waiting for the heavens and the wild winds to indicate a direction they must now take, now that the wild thing has been done, now that the commitment to a hitherto unthinkable action has been made. I try and sleep down in the hold, formerly my room, but no luck. The seas roll and shake and boil, and I must simply wait out for fate's anger to fade, for its resentment at how things have unfolded to soften in the light of day's reason. There is no food in the scullery, only some scraps. I look around at the collection of photographs I have brought along for the journey. I simply cannot recognize anyone or anything familiar. I pray for land to be sighted, any land of any shape or any size, whether cultivable or not. Even Pitcairn would do now. Yes, I remember that feeling. Even Pitcairn would do now. Any rock. Until tomorrow.